But who wasn't exactly the boogeyman. He was the one you sent to kill the fucking boogeyman.
What it do with the folk? What's poppin' with the peoples, man? What's good with the peoples, man? You already know what it is, man. It's your boy DT3Z, the Boom Beezy. What's poppin' with you, man? Just thought I'd hit y'all up with a quick live one time for your mind. You understand me? What's up, Sammy boy? Lisa Bells, Queen Lisa in the building. What's poppin' with you, Queen Lisa? How you doing this good evening? Just thought I'd hit y'all with a late night live one time. And it was something that really plagued my little plagued me when I saw Ryan Garcia's recent interview on Fight Hype. I want to shout you out, Fight Hype, but you know, me saying your name is a big enough shout out because right now, for real, Fight Hype, you be on some bitch shit too. Y'all will not ask no real motherfucking questions. And y'all cater to these fighters' egos, I guess, because these motherfuckers is paying you and all that, and then they got y'all in their back pocket, so they just feeling some type of way. But it's all good in the hood. You feel me? But Ryan Garcia said something that was very disturbing to me. He said he wanted to fight Tank Davis. He said he don't know Tank Davis. He don't know nothing about him. Never met, don't know him, nothing like that. But he want to fight Tank Davis. Why you want to fight Tank Davis, Ryan? Tank Davis is not a legitimate 135-pound fighter. That's not really where he mainly campaigns at. You do. But Gervonta Tank Davis do not mainly campaigns at 135 pounds. Yet and still, you want to call out Gervonta Davis? And I wanted to hear, because I didn't want to come to conclusions, I wanted to hear why you want to fight Tank Davis. I'm good, Lisa. Just another day, another dollar, trying to get paid by the hour, you know, trying to stay COVID free, you know, with my kids and all that. You know, my kids is going to their grandma's house, you know, so the family is going to the in-laws, so I'm in the house by myself. So I got some time to cook. But if you saying, hey, I heard that too, Lisa, that they ordering it. Let me put that up on the screen real quick, because I did hear that as well. And I was going to touch on that in a second. Because if you already know, Ryan, that the WBC is pretty much finna mandate, what's up, Lo? Finna mandate you to fight Devin Haney. Why the fuck is you talking about Tank Davis? Tank Davis is a 130-pound fighter. That's where he fight at. That's where he campaign at. Why are you talking about fighting Tank Davis? The people that you should be talking about, Ryan, Devin Haney, and Teofimo Lopez. Tank Davis ain't the motherfucking man in the weight class you campaigning at. You didn't fight Luke Campbell to fight Tank Davis last time I checked. Last time I checked. What's up, for real? I call you for real because you the truth. What I'm saying is, Ryan, you need to fight fucking Teofimo. You need to be talking about Teofimo or Devin Haney. That's who you should be talking about. Not no fucking Tank Davis. You clout chasing Tank Davis because Tank Davis is, in a sense, a money man in boxing. But he ain't in your division. He ain't really done nothing significant in your division. The person that got all the accolades and everything that you could possibly want in the division that you campaigning in is Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney. And if you ain't talking about fighting none of them in your interviews, you talking about fighting Tank Davis, who ain't even a world champion in your weight division, what the fuck is you really about in this shit? Don't sit there and say it's not about the money. Well, what else reason would you want to fight Tank? You say you don't know him, so it can't be personal. So why you want to fight Tank? Tank ain't the motherfucking man at heavyweight. I mean, excuse me, at lightweight. What's really going on? Enlighten me. I'm feeling so G. Feel free. My boy Serge, best of the best, Queen Lisa, you're more than welcome to slide onto the panel. I'm only looking for best of the best, Queen Lisa, or my boy Serge. And you know, my typical cats that I let on the panel. Cause I'm not letting, you already know I'm not letting no strangers on this motherfucker. You already know I ain't trying to have no more accidents. So unless you Queen Lisa Bells, best of the best, or my boy Serge, you're not getting on the panel. Along with a few other cats they know that's more than welcome on my panel. But as the ones I'm seeing right now, Lisa Bells, Queen Lisa, Serge, best of the best. Feel free to hit the link. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it in there one more time for y'all. Put it in there one more time. Put it in there one more time for y'all. So if y'all want to slide in and share your thoughts on why you think Ryan Garcia is trying to call out Tank Davis when he should be focused on Devin Haney. That's where he should be at. That should be his focus. What's up, Queen Lisa?
What's good?
Nothing much. Just chilling another day. I'm just cooking on this. What do you think about Ryan Garcia calling out Tank Davis, and Tank Davis really isn't doing nothing at 35? He's mainly done most of his work at 30. So do you think that Ryan should be focused on Tank, or he should be focused on like a Teofimo and Devin Haney?
Well, this is something that has been brewing for a while, because I know that the Tank and Ryan fight is like kind of like a big money fight. You know what I mean? So it's something that he has been talking about for a while. I think that Tank hasn't really planted his feet in 135. He's done more at 130. So I agree with you. Like I would prefer, him to fight like more of like Haney or Tio. I don't know how long Tio is going to be campaigning at 135. Not long. And who else is at 135? You got Tio, Ryan, Haney, and who else? And Tank is like 130, 135. But yeah, like I said, but this is something that they've been talking about for a while. I think Tank is just too skilled as far as he's more of a complete fighter, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
And Tank is dangerous, especially on the inside, you know what I mean? He has to fight inside because he's small. Because Tank really, I think Tank is better at 130 because his dimensions is not like a 140 fighter or nothing like that. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all. Not at all. I think I mean, you got Devin Haney and Teofimo, Lomachenko. You got a couple other cats, but the main guys at 35 is Teofimo, Lomachenko, Devin Haney. Those, to me, in my opinion, are the biggest names. And I don't hear him calling out a Lomachenko, somebody who, in my opinion, is more skilled than Tank Davis. To me, is more accomplished than Tank Davis, just in boxing as a whole. I think he should be looking at somebody of that caliber, not a Tank Davis. And when he said in the interview that he don't know him, never really met him. So I'm thinking, so first, you don't have nothing personal against Tank. So why are you calling out Tank for it? He's not even in your division. Why do you want Tank so bad when you got Teofimo, Devin Haney, Lomachenko? You got these real top dogs that's in your division, in your weight class that you should be looking at. So why are you looking at Tank? That makes no sense to me. What's up, best of the best?
DT3, what it do? What's up, partner? How you been?
Man, I'm blessed, man, with no stress, man. Just living another day, man. Just enjoying this new year, man, with no tears, man. How you feeling about Ryan Garcia trying to fight Tank Davis and not trying to fight nobody in his actual division?
Hey, man, look. This how I see the whole situation, DT3. I see it just like this. First of all, okay, with Tank's situation, Tank is confusing as a motherfucker. Cause of course we all know, he took the belt from Pedraza at 130 pounds. All right. And then he stayed at 130 pounds, DT3. He stayed there for like what, 4 years. Okay, defending his belt. He never really unified. He didn't fight Burchout, none of them. He wouldn't fight Tevin Farmer. We couldn't get a unification match at 130 with Tank. So remember, Tank was having a problem with making the weight. They say Tank probably need to fight at 135 since he having a problem with making the weight at 130. So we go to 135, like we watched him do, and he took the fight with Gamboa, and Gamboa had one of the underbelts. He don't have a main belt, like you said. He don't have one of the top 4 belts, but he got one. Gamboa had an underbelt, which Tank is supposed to have that belt. Now you got Floyd, Leonard Ellaby, and any other Tank type of supporters. They all running around here. Tank is a 2-division champion, and he this and he bring in the most pay-per-view numbers, and he this and he that. Right. So with that being said, with your question as far as Ryan Garcia at 135, I was highly impressed at what we seen. I'm pretty sure you was too, just knowing the person that you are and watching you long as I've been watching you. I know that, and you part of the sport your damn self. So, I know that you like what you see, what we all got to see out of Ryan against Luke Campbell, who I feel like is an A- level talent at 135. And Luke Campbell has been in with Yvonne Mendy. He been in with Lomachenko, and he been in with Jorge Linares. I credits all of that. I like Luke Campbell. He got a big heart, and he was a good test. And I think that Ryan learned a lesson fighting Luke Campbell. It was good because Ryan been too aggressive, a little bit too big headed, and I think you probably feel the same way that he learned a lesson when he knocked that ass down in that second or third round with him pressing Luke like that. Luke, like, what is you pressing him too much? And he slowed it down and he learned from that, got back in his rhythm and done what he done. So right now, yeah, to call out Tank because of the noise that they make behind Tank name and him having supposed to be a belt at 135 and 130, if it can be made, yeah. But I would like the fights that you asking for too. I don't mind that. I don't mind the T.O., the Loma, the Devin Haney. I'm with that 100%. If they replace that and he did one of them instead of Tank right now, I wouldn't be mad about that. I'd be all right. Let's do that then. All right, that's cool. But can we? If Tank do it, if Tank saying yeah, and they saying and then they want to make this shit happen and they can do it, I would love to see it because Tank still hasn't proved anything to me. DT3, I can't. He just won't do nothing to make me support him, and he's from my fucking hometown. I can't. I'm not doing it. I can't.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you about that because I know Tank from your city, so it's like I know it's really a conundrum for you. It's like you want to root for him, but when he doing you know, when you
I want
want
to DT3. I want to root for him so bad, just like we root for our Ravens. You know, I want to root for Tank. We love Tank, but guess what? It's people. You will not believe the buzz in Baltimore right now if you was here. The buzz in Baltimore right now behind Tank resume. Rumor is in the streets. Everybody talking in the streets. I even had a female walk up to me that knows sports. We was out talking about boxing one day, and a female stepped in the conversation. She said he shouldn't have never signed with that fucking Floyd. Floyd, I do not like what Floyd doing in his career. Floyd trying to make him like pick certain fighters, and I don't like how he do. I don't like that shit. He got Baltimore talking like that because people is that shit he doing. He not giving the fans what they want when it come to being fan friendly. We know who we want to see him fight, and he is not fighting the fights we want to see him fight. Even at 130, DT3, even at 130 right now, he can impress Baltimore by fighting somebody like, even if it ain't a bell holder, fight fucking Chris Colbert. Fight somebody. You gotta fight somebody that look like they can, like they gonna get we don't know who gonna win that shit, and we not getting that out of them. I gotta keep it 100. I can't, I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
I feel that, bro. I feel that. I really think that Tank's career is going to be kind of like topsy turvy. You ain't gonna really know who he's going to really fight per se off the back like that. It's really not going to be a lot of big name guys. He's going to fight a lot of bigger name fighters later on in his career. Don't expect Tank to fight a lot of big name dudes right off the back. It was a comment that was left by King Slim, basically, and I agree with you, King Slim, that basically, if you want to be technical, Tank Davis is Floyd's guy. So, and Oscar De La Hoya and Ryan Garcia is Oscar De La Hoya's guy, because, you know, Canelo ain't under Oscar no more. Canelo is own dude now. So, what it's looking like, I think Oscar is in Ryan's ear, telling him, hey, you could beat Tank. You could do this with Tank. You could do that with Tank. You could do this with Tank. You could do that with Tank. You could beat Tank. He's just blowing smoke, like just pumping his head up, getting him going. And I think Ryan believing it. I think Ryan going with the hype. I think Ryan is really listening to everything that Oscar is telling him, because why would you be focused on fighting Tank? Why it's other fighters out there. And from my understanding, Ryan been focused on Tank since what, 10, 12 fights in?
I think they got some kind of thing going on. I think it's a you know what I think it is with them two DT3? I think it's the hype thing with with which one of them got the most followings and all that shit, because Tank's supposed to have a big following and he's selling. But the thing is, I went and got them because I keep hearing everybody talk about this goddamn pay-per-view shit. I just said to take a break and sit down. Let me go look at these goddamn numbers on Tank real quick. We'll go for a little deeper. And I looked at the goddamn Leo Santa Cruz fight, and they say did 200,000, 215,000 pay-per-view buys or some shit like that. And I'm like, what is all this hype about these pay-per-view buys? I thought, whatever happened to pay-per-view, superstar pay-per-view buys being like at least a million views or better? Like, when do we start?
It ain't that no more.
I agree.
Yeah, as long as you're getting 250,000 or maybe 500,000 pay-per-view buys, oh, you doing something. They cool with that. They all right.
Oh, okay, yeah. Because I'm like, damn, is this enough pay-per-view buys nowadays? Because I'm looking at Sugar Ray and Hagler them pay-per-view buys. I'm looking at even Triple G and Canelo. I looked at they shit. They did 1.6 million pay-per-view buys in the first fight and 1.1 in the second fight.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. So I'm like, at least be over 500,000, like you said. At least he got to get him over that to make me get a little bit more pumped about that.
This is what did it for me, bro. This is what did it for me. We watching all these dudes do these pay-per-views. We watched the Earl Spence, Sean Porter. We watched Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder. We watched all that, and we look at their pay-per-view numbers. And then we get to two old motherfuckers in the names of Mike Tyson and Roy Jones Jr., and they arguably do the best pay-per-view fight in boxing history at this point.
Ain't that a motherfucking ball?
Yeah, because you have social media stars and not really like when you talking about Mike Tyson, you talking about somebody that's a global, you know what I mean, icon
Right.
that's known all over the world.
Yeah,
And
but that's true
still,
though.
you know what
But
I mean, it's
still,
different.
like, but it's a lot of young people. Like, you got to understand that a lot of these people don't understand that a lot of these young people didn't see Mike in his heyday. We did. We did. They didn't see Mike in his heyday, so they going off of, oh, that's Mike. Mike, oh, Mike this, da 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 da, blah 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 blah. Because that's what I was hearing. Let me be correct. That's what I was hearing. I was
Yeah,
hearing
but
how a few people didn't want to watch it because it was old. Mike is old. Roy Jones is old. Don't nobody want to see two old dudes fight. Blah 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 blah. And then they do the biggest pay per view, arguably in boxing history. What kind of shit? As an exhibition, though, it's not even a real
right,
actual fight. It's an exhibition,
right.
you know. And then you
But their
got
name, but their names carry weight.
yeah,
Yeah,
Tank,
the
Tank and
names,
them. These are people are not. These are not household names. I don't think
yeah,
people understand that.
the names are definitely carrying weight. And you know what? You know what though, DT3, I'm telling you, they would do these fighters now. We got the fighters right now that could get the numbers up. You could get what you said, that half a mil. Check this out. With how everything going is pumped up right now, with how everybody all talking about as much like how the divisions are. Put put motherfucking T put T.O. in put T.O. in right now with Devin Haney. And Devin Haney really to me still ain't really done shit. But the way his name is pressed now and everybody acting this, it's like he's so much this and that. I could still see Devin Haney and T.O. right now will probably do between 400 and 600,000 pay-per-view buys if
right,
they make the fight.
right now. I agree with that. Best of the best.
Right now, if they make the fight.
Right now, that fight would do numbers. That fight would do numbers because
That fight,
Teofimo Lomachenko fight did numbers, and that was free. That was free.
right?
Right.
That
Like the fights, only thing is, it's just the fights. They gotta make the fights. It's fights that could be made that'll do way more than what Tank and Leo Santa Cruz did if they make the fights. The fights, all the fights we be talking about, everybody talking about now, if they make a lot of them fights gonna do some numbers if you put some of them fights together right now. You
Yeah.
that's just like shit. You put Tank. If you put Tank in right now, if Tank fought T.O. right now, Tank and T.O. do
that's
400,
numbers.
600
That's
That's
doing
numbers. Yeah.
numbers. That's doing
Yeah.
numbers. That's doing numbers. You got
Yeah.
one of the arguably top 5 pound for pound fighters, and then arguably the most looked at, sought out boxer in boxing right now, in Gervonta Tank Davis. That's gonna do numbers because
That's
he's supposed
gonna
to
do
be the
numbers.
superstar.
See,
So I mean,
that's why I say it depends on who it depends on who he fight. Like if you can, everybody, people can't get really say nothing about. Damn, he only sold 200,000 with Leo Santa Cruz. You would think he did. What motherfuckers know? Them hardcore motherfucker fans like me and you who really know. We already know you're gonna win that fight. People know that, so they're not gonna spend that money. Everybody not gonna put that money out because everybody already know what's bound to happen. Like what happened? That's what's gonna happen. I knew
right,
shit out Leo.
right, and the unknown is what made boxing so beautiful. When you had two fighters come together and it was like, hey, this person could win, but that person could win too, and it was just a 50. You don't know. And it was just all kinds of shit in the air. That's what made people watch. Because you didn't
Competitive,
know.
yeah.
It was such a toss-up. That Teofimo Lomachenko fight, well, what if Loma do this? Well, Teofimo, it was so much talk. Even if that fight was pay-per-view, that fight still would have did numbers.
That goddamn fight would have did numbers, would it? I said, hey, look, I said myself, DT3, that fight was supposed to be on paper. I said, this a pay-per-view fight. Fuck Bob Arm and them doing. They ain't trying to get no pay-per-view money for that. They making some pay-per-view money off that fight. That's a pay-per-view fight.
They did us a favor, so I'm thank you, Bob. Thank you, Bob. You did us a favor.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. You're right. Thank you, Bob.
What's up, Serge? What's going on?
How's it going, Lisa? How's it going, DT?
Hey.
How's it going?
Hey, how's it
What's
going?
going on, bro? What's up, man?
It's like your second time here, huh, Serge?
Yeah, I think so. I think it's only my second time on your channel, bro.
Awesome.
Yeah,
I
man.
want
Oh, you be
cook
on
at-
Myron's show.
Yeah,
You
I'm
be
on
on
Myron's all the
Myron's show,
time.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna cook with him about John Jones and Clarissa Shields and that
Yeah.
training and all that. Oh yeah, I'm finna cook on that too.
Oh, yeah,
And
I'd
I
love to.
I
I'd love to.
was gonna cook on Clarissa going to MMA.
Yeah. I'm here. I'm here for all the talk too. I'm here for all the boxing
Yeah,
talk.
that's what I need you. That's what I need you for, sir.
Appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it.
You know, and oh, by the way, if you haven't, please go subscribe to the MMA Surgeon. If you
MMA
haven't,
vet surgeon. Yep. Thank you.
please
Appreciate
go
it.
do that ASAP.
I'm in
If you
there. I'm in there, no doubt.
Appreciate it,
For sure.
man.
And if you haven't subscribed, you better go subscribe to Best of the Best. If you haven't,
Yes, sir. I got to do that.
yeah, I'm talking about. But what do you think? Before I get to the MMA side of things, I wanted to holler at you, Serge, get your opinion about what do you think about fighters calling out fighters in the lower weight class, with Ryan Garcia calling out Tank Davis at 130, and he hasn't done anything at 35 significant. And then you got Teofimo Lopez and Devin Haney, who holds all the cards. They have all the belts.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you calling out a guy who don't have anything of any significance in your division?
It's people blowing up his head a little bit too much. I think it's people like Oscar in the back of his head telling him, "Hey man, you have the dominant share," like we've already heard kind of in the last couple of days, people have been saying, and the approach has been from Garcia now that he's got what everyone else wants at his division, which isn't true. Obviously, he doesn't have any of the belts. He hasn't had many big fights yet. So in reality, I think that he needs to maybe cool his brakes a little bit on going to fight Tank. He needs to do a little bit more work at his division, relax on moving up and doing all that moving up, or sorry, maybe moving down. I'm confused a little bit right now, and trying to do all that against Tank, because if he, obviously everyone thinks that if he gets caught against Tank like he got caught against Campbell, he's done. I don't think he's walking up past that. But the reason why he's doing it is because he's getting told he's got this lion's share of the social media popularity, of the numbers he can sell, and he's being told that, Money Team fighting Golden Boy Promotions, that's a big fight right there. You know what I mean?
That is.
You know what I mean?
Golden Boy versus TMT, or Golden Boy versus the Money Team, or PBC. That's like the thing. It's first we would think it was Top Rank and the Zone. No. It's Golden Boy.
Yep.
Golden Boy. And the cool part about it is we can't even say PBC got it out for Golden Boy, because I feel like PBC got it more out for the Zone. I see like they more clash heads with each other. But I think Oscar is like, he got this thing, like he wants to be bigger than Floyd, even after in retirement. Because when Canelo signed that deal with the Zone for that 300 mil, Oscar thought he thought he had it. He thought he made it. But Oscar, you didn't have 11 opponents for Canelo, did you? You didn't have 11 opponents for him. How many opponents did you give Canelo? What, 4? Makes no damn sense, Oscar. I'd have left your ass too. That bullshit.
Yeah, that damn Canelo. Canelo, I'm gonna tell you, man, Canelo a motherfucker. He try to make it look like Canelo try to make it look like they talk all that pound for pound shit about him, but Canelo just like knocking out motherfuckers he know he can knock out too. Really, he like a lot of tailor-made ass fights for real. Like he been in like the Triple G fight, yeah, that was good. That's good for his resume. But him knocking out American, I already knew he was going to do that shit. That was just like Tank knocking out Leo Santa Cruz. That's why I'm telling you now, don't let them try to make it look like, I ain't gonna give Canelo no credit if Earl Spence go up there and fight him, because I'm gonna tell you, DT3 Canelo gonna knock Earl Spence out if he go up there. If he go up to 160 and fight Canelo, he gonna get the same fucking treatment that Kell Brook got. Why? When he could have just went on and fought motherfucking Earl Spence while he was good. He should have went on and fought Earl Spence right while he was still good. He was undefeated. He was straight at 147. He could have took that fight. Probably would have been a whole different situation. But he ain't want to do that. He want to run and go up there and fight Triple G, knowing he was going to lose. He knew he was going to lose when he went up there and fought Triple G. I was so mad. I like Kell Brook. I used to love Kell Brook. I was like, why the fuck is he? Who the fuck is telling him to go do that dumbass fight? He going to get the shit beat out of him. And what the fuck had me get his fucking eye bone broke? get his fucking bone and his eye broke. He ain't never been the same since after that fight. He ain't never been the same. Every time they do that, Rigondeaux did that shit, done that dumbass shit. Fuck this career up. Every time they do that shit. And Earl Spence gonna do the same dumb shit. If he go up to 160, Canelo is gonna take that fight. I'm telling you. He gonna take that
if
fight.
I was Canelo, I'd take it. Because I just take it to Earl. Earl like to throw a lot of punches, and Canelo like to just counter all the time. He's gonna use his waist moving, head moving. When Earl is throwing his hard, reckless abandon shots, he's gonna be missing a lot, and Earl is just gonna get broke down to the body a lot. And Earl not used to getting hit to the body like that. He not used to that shit, especially by a thudding punching like Canelo. So I got Canelo beating Earl anyway. I just feel like Canelo just too skilled. And the only reason why Earl is even entertaining a supposed possible fight with Canelo is because Canelo is arguably the number one pound for pound guy. And if any of us are fighters and anybody come to interview us and say, how do you feel about fighting arguably the number one pound for pound guy? We'd be a damn fool to not entertain the conversation. We'd be a fool to not entertain it. So, of course, we're going to say, oh, yeah, I'll fight him, blah, 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 blah. We ain't going to say we're not going to fight him. So, obviously, he's going to talk the talk, but he's not going to walk the walk. And Earl, in my opinion, as far as Earl is going, he's going to go to 54. I think that's as far as Earl going to go is to 54. I do not see Earl Spence fighting at 160. I see Jermell Charlo fighting at 160 and staying at 160 and they finishing their career. Jermell Charlo's finishing his career at 160. Jamal finishes his career at 68. And Earl Spence finishing his career at 54. I honestly believe that. With everything that's happened with Earl from the car accident and the physical adaptation of that and putting that, getting punched on for the next 5 to 10 years, nah, he's going to stay at 54, retire at 54. He's not going to fight Terrence Crawford. I wish people stop asking me about that shit. That fight ain't going to happen. Before he fight Terrence Crawford, he's going to vacate his belts, move up to 54, fight for a vacant IBF or WBC belt, and become a 2-division, probably 4 or 5-time champion. And they're going to basically politically stat pack their careers. This ain't like MMA where you actually got to fight top motherfuckers to do some shit. This ain't that. That's why we got my boy Serge, because we gonna keep this shit a buck. Because I'd be pissed because when I see shit like Clarissa Shields going to MMA because the females in boxing ain't that deep. But honestly, I don't really see Clarissa Shields skill-wise doing much in MMA. I just feel like she's too big and the girls there are too skilled. They've been doing it too long. And Clarissa, it's a totally different thing when a motherfucker kick you in your neck.
Yeah.
See, also, a DT3, also, Clarissa, the weight division that she campaigned in for most of her career, the talent level wasn't there like it was in the lower, like the welterweights and under.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as many. The only woman that was up there that was really good, other than Clarissa, was what's her name? Franchon Cruz.
Oh, Franchon Cruz. I mean, she to me, I think I like her. I don't knock her, but I think her skill ain't there. I think skill wise, she just not there yet. I think she's a girl that's willing to scrap. She could take a punch. She could, because the little butch bitch she just fought that was off the juice, she was taking punches from her. So if a female was off the juice and she sounded like Debo in the interview, and you was taking punches from her, you could take a punch. And her only loss is to what? Clarissa Shields anyway. So you got to give her some credit for that. But I need to see her fight a little bit more. But at the same time, to your credit and to what you were saying, it's not a lot of females, not enough depth in that division for females. It's not a lot of. Is she gonna have to move?
No, it's not. Yeah, it's and like 154 and down or 147 and down. Yeah.
Right. So, what's up, Pigeon?
Yeah, man. I'm just gonna say about Clarissa, man. I didn't. You know, it's 7 a.m. in the UK, bro. I've not been.
My boy.
All right. How you doing? How you doing, Lisa? Nice to see you, my man. Lovely to see you, madam.
Good to see you too.
Yeah, man. It is 7 a.m., bro. And listen, this is a good conversation about Clarissa Shields. Now, I've never discussed women's boxing. It's 7 a.m. here. I've been up for a long time. Clarissa was a champion. I think after about 4 or 5 fights, she was a good boxer. I like that lady, you know. I'm not gonna be funny with you. I'm obviously a man, so I'm gonna love women. But I think Clarissa Shields is a good example for females globally, not just black, not just all this stuff about race. She's a nice lady, so we need to see more women's boxing 2021. Rachel Ball lives by me. She's a world champion. There's other world champions who live in the UK and that. It was never my thing. It was never my thing, female boxing. But since all these different cards have been going on, I'm not gonna lie. I'll watch it. I'll watch it.
Yeah,
That's all I got to say, bro. That's all I got to say, bro.
What I wanted to just add quickly is apparently Clarissa had an interview with BJ Penn on the like the end of December, like almost right before the new year, and she said that she has a fight in February. She just hasn't announced it yet, a boxing fight.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
she says she's planning to kind of do a little bit of both. You know what I mean?
Is she the welterweight or the light middleweight champion? Is she the light middleweight or welterweight champion, Clarissa Shields?
No, she's a middleweight. Middleweight champ.
Yeah. Because she won the welterweight.
She was 168 at one time.
But didn't she become undisputed at 68?
She did. I think it was against Christina Hammer. That was against the Hammer.
Yes, Christina Hammer. And then she fought the girl with the locks. What's her name? That girl was really a 154 pounder.
Hannah Gabriel.
Yeah, Hannah Gabriel. Yeah.
She's a good fighter, you know. She's a nice lady as well. Listen, that man rolled up, what was his name? Bashir. And there's a lot of people say, but listen, everybody thinks just because you're a female, if you speak crap to somebody or you treat somebody like shit, you're going to get rolled up on, bro. And he got rolled up on by Clarissa Shields' management. But did you watch the press conference? I'm not sure what fight. I think it was the Hammer fight, or what was it? The Hammer, or it was one of these fights.
I know the girl. It wasn't Hannah.
You talking about when Bashir Ali got beat up? I forgot.
Yeah. I'm no expert on Clarissa.
Yeah, I forgot who that was.
I'm no expert. I'm no expert on female boxing, but listen, that guy, he was nasty. He was putting his finger in her face. He was being a nasty man, and he got the shit kicked out of him when they were walking out the press conference. So, as an English guy, that is our culture. Our culture is a bit different to America. If you're going to roll up on a female in any way, shape, or form and be nasty, you're going to get a comeback. And you got a comeback.
America is too political, but I wanted to get to the we're gonna get back to Clarissa, but I want to get to what Loke said about Israel Adesanya moving up to light heavyweight. Serge, what you think about Adesanya moving up?
I'll turn my camera off now. Have fun, guys. Have fun, guys.
All right, bro.
Honestly, Adesanya moving up, I think that fight for him, I think that looking at it from his perspective is an easy taking, and this is him trying to push that button, push the lever on the John Jones topic, which I know you wanted to talk about a little bit. He's trying to really edge for that John Jones fight, but I think he's really being smart about it in terms of how long it's going to take him, because we see John Jones moving up to heavyweight. You know what I mean? We see John Jones moving up to heavyweight, going to take on probably the champion. I think, in my opinion, his next fight should be against Stipe. I don't think there's any value in having a Francis Stipe fight right off the bat. But besides that, I think that Adesanya taking that fight at light heavyweight is perfect. It's the absolute perfect fight in Jan Blachowicz, in which he's going to be able to try and use his kickboxing, which he's done. He's fought guys like Jan Blachowicz before. He's fought heavy plotted kickboxers. I think that not a lot of people see Adesanya get taken down, so they think that maybe his takedown defense isn't so good, and that might be the route, but his takedown defense is very good. We've seen him go against explosive, kind of similar knockout stylist guys in like Yoel Romero, which is a kind of a similar comparative as far as body type. And you know what? I think that we're going to see an Israel Adesanya win if he takes on the when it happens. You know what I mean?
But the Romero fight to me
Was weird. Yes.
was very weird because it's hard to do something when a guy literally just stands there in the high guard, like do something. And it's like you want to do something, but then at the same time, it's like I don't want to get caught because he might be setting me up. He might be setting a trap, and then I might think he's not going to engage. And then just when I think I got him, you'll come with some hot shit and put you to sleep.
Yeah.
And it's just like, and that's what I was thinking yo was doing. But when I just saw it was like, no, yo just really didn't want to engage. He really didn't want to engage.
I don't know. It's such a weird fight, man. It's such a weird fight. I think that me referencing that fight might have been a little not really the right fight to reference because it was such a blown out of proportion weird fight. You know what I mean?
Him versus what's his name? The tip of my tongue. The guy that he went hellfire and brimstone with. I can't think of his name. I cannot think of his name. The dude that he went all out with.
Gaslam.
Yes, Gavlin.
Yeah.
I think that was his toughest fight, and I think that was his toughest fight that he'll probably at this point. That was his toughest fight in his career, and I don't really see. And you got to think, Gavlin, he got skills. Like the dude got hands, got feet, he got everything. And I feel like if he couldn't have his way with him, because he's a game guy, and if he couldn't have his way with him, I really don't see nobody really having their way with him. You have to outskill him, and it's hard to outskill Israel. It really is. It's like it's just when you think he's like this fight to me is going to show to me how he's going to deal with a bigger, stronger guy. Because most of the guys that he's fought at middleweight were either probably his height, maybe shorter, and him moving up. Most of the guys he's going to fight are going to be his height or bigger. So I want to see how he deals with that because everybody's not going. They punch resistance ain't gonna be the same. Some people gonna be able to take that shit. Some people the people that wasn't able to take your punches at middleweight, they might be able to take that shit at light heavyweight. The punches that you was knocking fools over at middleweight, them light heavyweight motherfuckers might be like, keep that shit coming. And how will Israel handle getting hit by a light heavyweight too? Because he did get hit by Gastelum. He did get hit clean a couple of times. Will he be able to take the same type of punishment from those bigger guys? That's what I want to see. And that's what makes this fight interesting because I know this dude could punch and I know this dude got a good striking background. So this makes the grounds for a hell of a fight. Oh yeah. And for one, I'm not really haven't been into too much MMA. I'm into the big fights of MMA. Like I want to see the big guys fight. I'm not really into the smaller guys fighting. When I hear Israel fighting or Connor's fighting or Ferguson, Khabib, when I hear them dudes fighting, I'm tuning in for that. Yeah. But other than that, I'm usually because I was watching your live stream
the other day. Yeah, it got pulled. The whole thing got pulled from YouTube. So if anyone's wondering, I'm releasing it all in parts and like an edited down portions on my channel. Yeah, bro. So it's just way more clean cut. You know what I mean? With pictures over the video though, because they blocked it because I was showing live. Like we were talking knockout of the year, and I was showing a bunch of different knockouts of the year and shit. You know what I mean? Sub of the year, all that shit. You know what I mean? So
got you. Yeah. Because and by the way. Do you know when Jorge Masvidal is fighting again? I haven't been keeping up with Jorge. Do you know when Jorge Masvidal?
I don't think he's set to fight again. They're pretty much talking about like Leon Edwards was just calling him out the other day because Leon Edwards' fight fell out with Chimaev. Chimaev ended up getting COVID, but now they've re-announced that fight. But Leon Edwards fell out, and then remember how he had that kind of the kerfuffle backstage after his one fight, and he 3-pieced in a soda. Leon Edwards and cut him open. Remember that? He walked up to him like that. Yeah. So that guy was calling out for Masvidal saying, where's Masvidal at now? Because I need a fight and he hasn't fought in a while and I'm ready to see him fight. I think he's enjoying himself a little bit. He had a really good 2020. You know what I mean? So I think he's probably enjoying himself a little bit, maybe eating a little bit. You know what I mean?
Got you. What do you think is next for Colby Covington?
We were talking about this the other day. Honestly, it's a really tough question because I think that when we look at a guy like Colby Covington, we've seen him just lose to the champion. You know what I mean? It was in a fashion which I think a lot of people they want to kind of talk a little bit more shit about it because of the fact that the broken jaw, you know what I mean? You got your jaw broken. It wasn't even that you just got beat up and you guys went to war, which it was a war on both ends, I would kind of say, but you got your jaw broken, you know what I mean? Right. So I think at this point it's a good question of a guy like who's Colby going to fight, because he's still at the number one ranked spot. We see Gilbert Burns at 2, Leon Edwards at 3, who's just about to fight Chimaev, who's ranked at 15th or something, you know what I mean, which is crazy. And they're going to fight, and they're calling that for 3 months time from now. So that's going to tie up for 3 more months, which is crazy. They just keep pushing that back because God knows that could get turned over again. As far as a fight for Colby right now, man, it's probably going to be maybe a Jorge. Maybe they do a trash talking seminar and get together and talk a little bit of shit and go in there and fight.
Gotcha.
If he's 4th ranked and he just moved up one in the division, he hasn't fought in a little bit. Thompson just fought. Like Tyron Woodley's obviously not fighting Colby again. He's getting spanked. He's on his way down. Damian Maia's not going to fight Colby Covington. They've already fought. Chisea is one of the dark horses I like because he's just made his way up to welterweight for the first time in his career. He was fighting previously. Well, he's had 2 fights now at welterweight. He's 2-0 at welterweight. So he's a guy that could come up, make a couple fights, and then maybe get a Covington fight. That would be nice if Colby holds out, but who knows? I'm not really 100% sure what the next steps are going to be with Colby. You know what I mean? And the rankings are bullshit in the UFC. So,
So what do you think about? Because I really feel like John Jones moved up to heavyweight because DC ain't fucking with MMA no more. That's why I think he moved up. Because I even though John Jones beat DC and he's beat him obviously multiple times, but DC has always came to fight John Jones. He ain't never came with no bullshit. He always come to scrap. And I feel like John Jones is now moving up to heavyweight for one, because he's starting to slow down. Them light heavyweights is getting a little too fast for his old ass now. Because that last fight when he fought that other athletic dude, I forgot what his name was. He lost that fight, bro. You know he lost that fight, Serge. You know he lost that fight. He lost that fight, man.
Man,
I mean, he didn't get like beat up, but he was getting. It was like you could tell, like.
The Dom Reyes fight, the guy you're talking about,
yes.
I was watching that fight, and I was saying this the other night, for the first time in my life, I was watching a fight with John Jones in it, looking at the screen, going, "Holy fuck, John Jones is losing this fight." You know what I mean? I'm going, he's fucking lost this fight. You know what I mean? I'm like realistically, he's lost this fight. The only thing that's protecting him is you're John Jones. Yes. You're the guy who fucking lost one time and it wasn't even a loss. You know what I mean? Like. That's the only, and I even said it to my buddy right when we were watching. I said, man, I feel bad for Reyes because I feel like even if John Jones does that a little bit more right now, he could slip this bullshit judge's decision out, and he's gonna walk away with it and say, "Sorry, kid, try again." You know what I mean?
Yep, I'm John Jones, by the way.
Yeah.
Like, dude, and it's the same thing in boxing. You get a Canelo fight, or when Floyd was fighting, get a Floyd fight. Yeah. They just got to do just enough to make the judges say, okay, that's all we need to see from you. Good. Yep, you lost. He did just enough to make us feel cool. So, I mean, you just here for a check. Be happy. You should be happy you got to share the ring with this great right here. Be
exactly.
Happy. Yeah. And it's crazy.
It is fucking crazy, man. And like you said, though, I think that him moving up to heavyweight, I think that he's definitely, John, like you said, getting slower, probably lost his last fight. It's probably a good time for him to leave. You know what I mean? It's kind of like a good note for him to leave that division on. And then I bet you the only time he ever fights a guy that's that light again is probably going to be Adesanya if Adesanya decides to move up. You know what I mean? But that's in the future. I think that I think the only logical fight right now for the UFC to give him, and they keep saying they're not going to give it to him, is the fight against Stipe Miocic. I don't like against the heavyweight champion. You know what I mean? And this is a guy who's been totally who's always disrespected by the UFC. I don't think given enough respect for being a champ, a guy who's working as a part-time firefighter at the same time, constantly grinding. You know what I mean? Like, I think that they're going to I don't think there's any use in them setting up an Ngannou fight again with Stipe. We've only seen Ngannou in 3 fights since the Stipe loss, and we've seen him in, or 3 or 4 fights since the Stipe loss. We've seen him in a I think it was like a boring decision. I think that might have been before. Boring decision. and then 3 like 30, 40-second knockouts. We haven't seen really anything from him. No one's tested him. You know what I mean? We haven't seen any kind of improvement in his game, but I don't think there's money in that fight. I think there's tons of money in making a John Jones Stipe fight, because then John Jones can maybe say, I've beaten the best heavyweight of all time. You know what I mean? Because he will say that.
He a 2-time heavyweight champion. Didn't he lose? I think Daniel Cormier, and then he came back and got it again.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get no credit because there's not a lot of people in MMA, let alone UFC, that become multiple world champions, bro. That's
and he broke the reason why they don't really give him that full respect either is because I think he's got the most defenses right now as a heavyweight champ ever. I believe so.
Do you think that John Jones will duck Israel if the opportune comes his way? You think he'll duck Israel?
Early, yeah. I think that probably John's probably more focused on going up and fighting a guy like if Israel was to say right now, okay, let's be one of the main fights of 2021. You know what I mean? I don't think John would say yes. I don't think he would. I think you're right in saying that. I think that he'd say, fuck that. I'm gonna take my time, wait. I'm gonna go fight Stipe for this heavyweight, become undisputed double champ. You know what I mean? Call myself the best ever to do it. And then we'll fight. You know what I mean? I think so. I think he'll duck it. Yeah.
You think that Israel will have to move up to heavyweight, or John Jones will move back down to light heavyweight to fight him?
Like I said, and I think you said it best, I think that he's probably realized this is his best time to get out of the division. I think that he will make Adesanya move up.
I got you. How long you think Israel go with campaign at light heavyweight though? Because is he vacating his middleweight belt when he moved up, or is he still holding it?
I think he's still going to hold it. I think he's going to try and retain some sort of a double champ status. I don't really know, but like how as far as like what's going to happen next, I think that his best option and what he'll probably try and do is the as far as if they make him drop the belt, the other possible option is they're going to make the guys in middleweight fight for a contender belt. You know what I mean? And then fight him after. We could see him do 2 fights in a row. We could see him take the belt from Blachowicz, then maybe come back and defend it. And then maybe even in the same year, if he's feeling crazy, which he might, beat a guy like Dom Reyes. You know what I mean? Go in there and beat it, right? And then he's really tapped into John Jones's fucking cerebral. You know what I mean?
If he washes Reyes, I mean, even not necessarily wash him. If he makes a fight with Reyes where it's like he dominates him in a way where he makes the John Jones like he looks like Reyes, he shouldn't have whooped you like that, John. He whooped you. And Israel comes in and he beats the shit out of Reyes. I don't know, bro. That's gonna bring up a lot of noise, a lot of talk if Israel beats the fuck out of Reyes, because Reyes arguably beat John Jones, and that's gonna be a lot of talk and a lot of build up to a future John Jones Israel Sanya fight. I want to see that fight. That's the fight I want to see. I knew that John Jones wasn't going to get no fight with Brock Lesnar. I felt like John Jones was reaching. He was looking for a paycheck because you know you're going to beat the fuck out of Brock Lesnar because he's one fucking dimensional. He's not going to get you on your back. None of that shit. You're going to tag him with elbows and spinning elbows and knees and teeps all day long. And Brock Lesnar is there to be hit with that shit. He's going to just come forward the whole time and just be big Brock. So it is what it is. He said, hold on, boxing fan asked me a question. Let me get to him real quick. He said, who do you think will win between Tank and Ryan? Sorry, I know we're talking about UFC, but I never get to be in the live. Okay, boxing fan, let me answer this question for you real quick. I think both fighters have potential to win, but who I would go for the win is Tank. The reason why I say Tank would win is because Ryan has a habit of standing in front of you in the high guard, and he's very flat-footed. Tank is very good at angling off and throwing the uppercuts at odd angles. You cannot throw hooks when a guy has the high guard. What is there for you is straight punches and uppercuts. If he's a little loose, like what you've seen with Luke Campbell, when his guard is out a little further, he's more open for hooks. He's protected from straight punches because his guard is right in front of him. But if he got the high guard and he got his ear muffs on, let me give you a better example. Let y'all see what I'm talking about. When they're like this, you're open. No hooks. No hooks is coming through. No hooks. Okay, but if I'm here, I'm open for hooks. This is open for hooks. Come through on the outside. But when I'm right here, what's open? You come right up the fucking middle all day long. And that's where I see Tank exploiting Ryan Garcia is when Ryan do this shit in front of him, and all Tank gonna do is boop, boop, and angle off, which is something that Luke Campbell, I feel like Luke Campbell should have did and could have did, but he didn't do. And also the uppercut is Tank Davis's money punch. That's his money punch. That's like Miguel Cotto's left hook. That's like John Jones's teep and his spinning elbow. That's their money move. That's the move that made them who they are. So I don't think Ryan Garcia want to stand there and get caught with that shit, and he's too flat-footed to get away from it. So I think Tank could get him. Now, if Tank decides he wants to brawl with Ryan, he gonna get caught, and he could possibly get himself hurt and get stopped in that situation. But I think Tank is smart enough to not do that, and I don't think Ryan got the IQ to deal with Tank. And also, and I mark my words, Ryan Garcia is the Mexican Amir Khan 2.0. He fast, he got decent pop, but when you hit that chin good, he's gonna go down. I'm telling you. Don't mark my words. Don't put too much stock in Ryan Garcia until you see him get hit. Not get a flash knockdown where he get touched and he get knocked off balance. He falls. Oh shit, motherfucker, knock me down. God damn it, now I gotta fuck you up. No, when he get hit and you're like, and you hear that now say, oh, Ryan's hurt. He's hurt. And you can see that he's hurt, and then he fight back and win from that, then you can talk some talk. But until I see that, I'm not too sold on Ryan, because I want to see how Ryan does when he gets hit, when somebody really hits him with something nice, not just a quick counter that he didn't see coming or he didn't expect because he's so used to over-engaging. Nah. So Gentleman's Game asks, Whitaker versus Israel 2, thoughts on the outcome of the fight if it happens. Israel gonna beat the shit out of him just like he did the first time.
Yep. Israel has too many different dimensions to beat, too many different ways to beat Whitaker, and Whitaker's too one-dimensional at this point in his career too. You know what I mean? He's been whopped a bunch. I love Robert Whitaker. I love Bobby Knuckles, but man, Israel's like we're talking about right now. He's one of those guys that is dangerous, that is next level in the sport, has a next level mind to go with his physical talent. You know what I mean? How would you fight him? Boone, you see that one? You muted, bro. I think you muted.
What's up, Raider? All right, let me see. George the Doomslayer says, I'm curious, since you fight at the same weight class Tank, how would I fight him? Me personally, I would fight Tank. I would counter Tank. I would just wait for him because I know he wants to engage. Now, the thing is, I know I'm going to get hit eventually. It's just with what? And I just want to keep him on the end of my jab because he's a southpaw. I want to keep my left foot on the outside. I do not want to give him none of that outside foot leverage. First of all, I got to make sure my foot is on the outside of his, and I want to keep him on the end of my jab because I know I got more reach to him. The motherfucker 5'5". I'm 5'7.5", 5'8" with shoes. So I know I got more reach to him, and I know I got a good jab. So keep him on the end of my jab, and I'm going to your body, Tank. I'm not throwing no right hands at your head first. I'm throwing straight rights to your chest. Straight to your chest. Because the mummification to all southpaws is the right fucking hand. Okay? And if you're doing MMA or kickboxing, it's the right hand or the right fucking kick. All day long. So if I'm dealing with Tank, I'm keeping him at bay the whole time. Mind you, I know I hit harder than Leo Santa Cruz too. So I'm keeping him at the end with my 1-2, my jab cross. I'm not throwing too many hooks because I know that motherfucker want that left uppercut up the middle off my left hook. I know he want that shit. I seen him do it too many times this sparring. I'm not fucking with you, Tank. I'm not fucking with you, Tank. And I will also make Tank crowd himself. I will literally keep him against the ropes and crowd him. and make him punch himself out because I know Tank would get tired. I will bring Tank into deep waters and then get him out of there. Literally, I would use my head movement and my jab and throw my straight right to the body in the early rounds. And I wouldn't throw too many punches because I know Tank wants to kill me. So I'm going to let him just throw with reckless abandon until we get to 7th and 8th, 9th round. Oh, you starting to slow down, huh, Tank? Uh-huh. You ain't got it no more, huh, Tank? Now I'm going to start touching him more to the body, jabbing him more to the body, and that shit going to start to do more dividends and ends at that time. And then once we get to the 9th and 10th round, he ain't going to have no gas. But guess what? I do. So I'm finna start letting my hands go. And I'm going to get in. So, and I could punch. And I know I could punch. I've been told that by big dudes. And I'm not saying that because I think I could punch. I've been told by big guys that I can punch for a little guy. So I know I could get him. Period. That's how I would get him.
Man, that was a good breakdown. I like that.
That's how I would get Tank if I had to deal with Tank. Now, don't get me wrong. It's easy to say, but it's another thing to do because Tank is a motherfucker when he up in that bitch. So that's how I would. That would be my game plan for actually anybody to fight Tank. Anybody that fight Tank, you make Tank punch himself out. Tank don't got the gas to go 12 rounds at that pace. He don't have it, and he don't know how to pace himself in a fight. He's coming in there to just take you out. He's not he don't have a lot of IQ like that. He don't. He does have it, but it's not to like Lomachenko will beat the fuck out of Tank. Yeah. And the only reason why I say that is because Lomachenko got the IQ and the feet. He'll just outsmart Tank. That's it. He'll let Tank overcommit to his arsenal and then just start countering Tank and catching him with shit. And then once Tank get tired, Loma don't never get tired. It's over. No mas.
No mas.
No mas. You know what I mean? So
I remember.
You know, that's pretty much how I would be about it. You know what I mean? But must be said, so how do you feel about Serge? Do you think that Clarissa Shields training with John Jones, how do you think that would help her transition? Because I haven't seen her work her ground game, bro. Mm-hmm. I've seen her work her kicks. I've seen her kick in the pads. I've seen her do the mitts. I mean, you do mitts in boxing. That ain't nothing impressive to me because you're a boxer. Yeah. What I want to see Clarissa Shields doing is getting on that ground, rolling, doing jiu-jitsu tactics. I want to see her submitting girls, even if it's one technique and they just show her tapping somebody out to show that she can do it. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. I think we need to see her in some sort of a tournament, or not even a tournament, like you know what I mean? Just like, even like if it's a fucking, when everything opens back up, like a local tournament, she needs to get some hours in on the mat. Like you're saying, she needs to really test herself against some girls that are top level, because man, she's a big girl, but there is some girls that are smaller than her that will tie her up and choke her out quickly. You know what I mean? They'll say, well, this girl is a danger on the hands and feet. I know what I'm going to do in 5 seconds. We're going to take her down. I might even pull guard, and I'll even have her sit on top of me, and maybe for a couple punches, so she'll think she's going to land, and next thing you know, she's in an arm bar and she's tapping out. You know what I mean? But I do like the fact that, like you said, she's with Jackson Wink now. She's training with them, with the likes of John Jones, Holly Holm, Kate, Karate Hottie Watterson. I don't think her name's Kate. Michelle Watterson. But really what I liked about the deal that she made, instead of choosing the PFL, she had the option to go to the UFC. But she did say in another article, in the same article, I believe, that she was saying that she was going to fight in February, a boxing event, was that because of the fact that she didn't want to, that it wasn't time for her to fully leave the sport of boxing, and she still wanted to kind of stay in boxing and still box at the same time. The deal that the UFC really wanted her to come in and fulfill was for her to come into the UFC, fight a couple fights, and then fight not even fight a couple fights, train for a couple of months, and then have a big fight with Amanda Nunes, which would obviously go crazy on the headlines. You know what I mean? That would sell a shitload.
Show sale, and then Clarissa Shields gets knocked the fuck out.
Exactly. So no, this is why it's good though, because at least we can tell that Clarissa's taking this seriously from this point on, because of the fact that she did choose to go with PFL. PFL said to her, hey, we're going to give you some special exemptions. You don't necessarily have to go fight in the fighters only tournament right away. You can maybe have a couple of solo fights in PFL, which is pretty. They don't do it as often. They more go for a tournament style. But then she's even saying that she wants to fight in this PFL tournament in 2022. That's what she's talking about. Talks about her eyeing that tournament. So as far as that goes, maybe that might be her coming out party as far as her as an MMA fighter is going through that tournament. And that would probably be the extent of the whole year. So that would be ending around 2023 probably and starting around 2022. So, I mean, if she thinks she can be ready for that point in time, God bless her. She's got a year to go. You know what I mean? She's got a year to start getting ready and getting on the ground, you know?
My thing is, you already could punch. You can't kick. Your kicks is trash. I love you, Clarissa. You are a great puncher. When it comes to the shoulders, you got it. But when you from the waist down, you suspect. You don't rotate your hips right. They're not making you rotate your hips right. You're really doing snap karate kicks. That's really what you're doing. And I'm not saying that's not effective because I did karate for a few years. And it's effective if you know what you're doing. But when you need to land that thudding powerhouse Muay Thai kick on somebody's ribs or somebody's neck to put them out, you don't got it. And you don't kick high enough. Now, I think you will be a great low kicker. I think you'll be a great low kicker. I think you'll be great at setting up the low kick with your hands. Awesome. But what I'm afraid of is you getting caught with a jiu-jitsu cat. Somebody clipping you and they hurt you and then they can't get you out of there because you tough as nails. You ain't finna let a bitch beat you. But once they get you hurt, oh, okay, take her down to the ground, submit her, boom, get you out of there. And that's what I'm afraid of. And also, it was something that, shout out to Joe Rogan, because he said something that was profound a few years ago. He said, if you want to learn jiu-jitsu, who would you rather learn jiu-jitsu from? A big man or a small man?
Small man.
Small man. You know why? Small man has to execute proper technique. He doesn't have the brute strength that the big guy did. He could just literally just pull your shit and he just got it because he's just fucking strong. The small guy actually has to use proper technique. He has to do everything so technically correct to where he's just so fundamentally sound to where that big man ain't gonna have shit because the technique is so sound. So if I prefer for Clarissa, for you to really start rolling with little small women. Roll with the small girls. Roll with them. Don't roll with the big butch guys. They already stronger than you. You already know that. That's a given. But the girls you fight, they're not gonna be as strong as you physically, in my opinion. No. They're not. You're gonna hit harder than most of them, except in my opinion, maybe Amanda Nunes. Because Amanda Nunes hit like a fucking Mack truck for some good
cracks. Yeah, cracks.
That girl got fucking crack in her hands, bro. It's crazy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't see you knocking females out like that, Clarissa. You know what I'm saying? Now, don't get me wrong. It's going to maybe be different. We saying that now, but because Clarissa was fighting with what? 8-ounce, 10-ounce gloves on. And she's going from 8 to 10-ounce gloves to what? 4?
4.
So it still remains to be seen what she may be able to do. But at the same time, they know you box, Clarissa.
Yeah.
They all know you got hands, Clarissa. So they're not going to want to see you from the shoulders. Most of the females you fight is going to want to take you to the ground because they know you have no takedown defense or no ground game. Even if I get you on the ground, you ain't going to be able to get back up.
Exactly.
You're not going to be able to get back up. They're going to keep you on that cage, and a ground and pound is going to be your Achilles heel. And that's what I'm afraid of for Clarissa. And I think she needs to really focus on not necessarily using her hands so much, really focus on getting flexible with your hips, getting better with your kicks, work on your takedown defense, and get your jiu-jitsu and your wrestling game up because you already got hands. But this is MMA. They use everything. Elbows, knees. Like, you got way more shit to worry about. You might mess around and slip because you're so used to slipping and weaving, and you weave and slip into a kick or a knee that you don't see coming because you're so used to that. You know what I'm saying? And then you also got to realize when they're holding you on the ground, they can still knee you. They can still punch on you. They can still do little shit to you that's irritating. Them little ticky-tack shits they be doing when they be on the ground and they be that little ticky tack shit.
Oh yeah.
It's irritating.
Oh yeah.
It's irritating, and you a girl. You know what I'm saying? So imagine you got this girl just tick, 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 tick.
The whole fight. Yeah, the whole fight, because that's all what they're gonna all want to do, right? Get her down. If they can't get her out, if they can't submit her, they're gonna sit on her, ticky tack her till
ticky tack her all day long. Pity pat you, just pile the points up on your ass. Pop, 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 pop. And that's something that you have to be prepared for, because they train. And these people that you finna be fighting, Clarissa, they've been doing this just as long as you've been doing boxing. So you need to get your ground game up. I want to see you win, Clarissa. I do. But you not looking like you really finna make a big impact in MMA. For one, it ain't no females your size. No way. You probably gonna have to drain yourself down to like 47.
Like 45. 46. She can make 46, like she'll be fine.
And that's the thing. You willing to do that for MMA, but you didn't do that in boxing. Because there's some dogs in boxing at that weight class. You could have got down to 4 if you're willing to do that in MMA, because there is no big weight class. I mean, come on, you got to think about it. How many women really want to be heavyweight champions of the world?
Yeah, they don't. They don't want to be associated with it. Yeah.
Right. It's not a lot of women that want to be associated with a heavy weight class. You know, they don't mind being the lightweight, the flyweight, the mini. That's cute to them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So you willing to do that for MMA, but not boxing. So what I really want to know, what happened? What made her say, I'm going to go to MMA and I'm going to drain myself down to 140 or 150 to fight these girls, and I'm not going to do it in boxing? I don't get that. I really don't. I seriously don't get it. I don't see you beating Amanda Nunes. I don't see you doing that at all.
No.
I really don't.
Not right off the bat, at least. Like, we're talking years down the road. We're talking like if she fights Amanda Nunes, and how old's Amanda Nunes right now? I don't know. How old? Clarissa's young. We were talking about.
She's like
Clarissa's young. Yeah. So she got time. If she does, like she said, if she takes 1 or 2 fights in this next coming year, works on some shit, 22, and wins that tournament, that's probably going to be her shot. But I think it's a 2 or 3 year deal with PFL. So she's planning on spending about 3 years there, I believe.
Well, I hope Clarissa makes a hell of a show of it. I'm rooting for you, Clarissa.
Same.
You need to get your hips a lot more flexible. And other than that, I'm pretty good. Lisa Bales, you've been over there kind of quiet, man. What's going on with you, Lisa? What's your take on the Clarissa Shields situation, man? You just over there sitting all quiet and shit. What's going on, Lisa? Is you still there, Lisa? Did you run off? You fall asleep on us? I think she fell asleep on us.
She would have fell asleep on us. Gentleman's game. I just want to show this guy.
I'm not asleep.
Go ahead.
I'm not asleep. I don't really know nothing about MMA.
But you know about Clarissa?
Yeah, I know about her, but I can't. I don't really know like a lot about MMA.
Well, let me sprinkle you real quick, Lisa. It's really just mainly just street fighting with rules. You know what I'm saying? And she's just going in there with girls that got ground game, that know how to wrestle, and they know jujitsu, they know how to submit you and tap you out. I know you know those basic things. And what I'm asking you is, how do you think she would fare? Do you think that she would quit boxing and focus on MMA, or do you think she's going to do both? You think she should do both?
I think she's going to do both because I think Clarissa's going that route also because from what I'm understanding, the women make more money over there. So, but, you know, for some reason they make more money in MMA as opposed to boxing, you know. And so I think she'll do both. She just has to have a balance with it, like kind of like how Serrano does. She does both, right?
Yeah, I don't think Gina fights anymore, but I don't think she's fought for a couple of years because she was doing she had the movie thing. I think she's more doing the movies now, but yeah, she was doing both for a bit.
Right. Not Serrano, her too, but what's the other girl's name?
Serrano didn't box, but Serrano did something else.
What's the girl's
you're talking
name?
about Ronda. Ronda with the
Ronda
WWE?
No, the girl now. She goes up in weight. She was supposed to fight Katie Taylor. What's her name? Amanda
No, not Nunes.
No,
Supposed to
not
fight.
New. I thought her last name was Serrano.
I think it is Amanda Serrano. I think it is Serrano.
Who?
Yeah, she was supposed to fight Katie Taylor not long ago, but
Yeah.
then she had an issue.
I
Then
think,
she had a issue with Eddie Hearn or something.
I think that was Serrano. I think that was
Yeah,
Serrano. I think that was
because she goes up in different ways, but she has a high knockout percentage. Um, the money is, from what I'm understanding, the money is not there. So that was why I thought Clarissa went into this. It takes years to hone a craft. You know what I'm saying? So, like you were saying with the takedown game and all that and everything, you may have like one facet, you may learn one thing, but it's gonna take a long time to really
Mhm.
you know, be a complete fighter and that. And I don't think at this point it would take her a while, but
yeah.
now I'm sure her stand-up game would be good, like you said,
Yeah,
a
we
low
already
kicker
said
or
it.
whatever.
Yeah.
Right, but what you're talking about this jujitsu and all this,
Mhm.
I,
And
I
wrestling
mean,
and all that.
there's
Yeah.
so many different facets to mixed martial arts. It's not
Mm-hmm.
like boxing. You got all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
But not everybody's good at everything.
Right, right. That is very true. Now, Southpaw, well, male boxers make more money, but the women in boxing, they don't get nothing. Women in
That's
MMA,
that's what I was saying. The women in boxing don't get a lot of money.
they don't.
They make more money in MMA.
Right. That's what she's saying, Southpaw. She's not saying it's more money in MMA overall than in boxing. No, it's more money for women in MMA than it is
Right.
in boxing.
The only one I know that's making $1 million is Katie Taylor.
Man, Katie Taylor, man, that's my girl, man. That's my girl. I love me some Katie Taylor, man.
And I think it more so goes off the name too. You know what I mean? As far as female fighters in MMA, like I think we see kind of those top ones. You know what I mean? Or women that make that run for the title and then either have success and they stay running with that. Like, or even a girl that builds the popularity from an event, such as a girl like Holly Holm when she knocked out Ronda Rousey. You know what I mean? She might have not been the best fighter after that, you know what I mean? And she might have lost the belt to better fighters, but she still gets paid a lot. She still gets those top fights, you know what I mean? And in reality, most of these other females and other males in the UFC, they ain't getting paid. I think it's like 12,000 to show, another 10,000 if you win or something like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
making like a bonus for like the fight of the night or the KO of the night.
That's your biggest payday right there. If you're one of these low tier people kind of building up, obviously a Carissa Shields has the name in the startup behind her and just the success in boxing to sell more than that and to just,
I mean, yeah, you got to give it to Clarissa. You know what I'm saying? She's a two-time Olympic gold medalist. It's only, honestly, from what I know, 3 people that has ever done it, and that's Guillermo Rigondeaux, Vasily Lomachenko, and Clarissa Shields are the only 2 people to win Olympic gold in boxing twice. And then also Clarissa Shields became undisputed middleweight champion in boxing. So she got a name. Like you gotta put some respect on her name, regardless of what you want to think. She got she ain't never did nothing in MMA, but she's Clarissa Shields. You gotta put some respect on her name, regardless. So I feel that. So before we get up out of here, I just want to say thank you to the panel. Thank you, Queen Lisa, for sliding on. Appreciate
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you.
Likewise,
for sure,
brother.
Surge.
Thank you for having me, Boom, man. I appreciate it.
Bring your ass up on here more often. I'm sorry,
man.
I'm talking about shit. I need to be live more often when I'm talking about bullshit.
Hey, man, I'd love for you to have me on here more often.
Yeah, man, you always welcome.
Thank you, bro.
You're actually going to be my MMA go-to.
I love that. I appreciate it, bro. I appreciate it. That's huge.
So I appreciate you for that. You know, I'm gonna be hitting you up when I got some MMA questions.
Yeah, man, absolutely.
You know, so Queen Lisa, man, closing thoughts, your final thoughts before we get up out of here.
About like what?
Anything.
Oh well, I wish Clarissa much success in her new endeavor as far as mixed martial arts, and I like to see where she's gonna go with it, and just keep training, and she's in there with good people, as far as learning, and that's one thing about her. She is a hard worker, and she will get in there and train and do what she has to do, and far as the 135 division, you know, still like we want to see more. I want to see them all mix it up.
We want to
I
see it
want to
all.
see all of them fight.
All
Huh?
of them.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what we want to
that's
see.
all.
We just want to see
Yeah.
them all fight. That's what y'all in it for. Y'all in the hurt business. Y'all not in the talking business. Y'all want to do talking. Y'all need to go into sales or some shit. Y'all in the hurt business. You know what I'm saying? Straight up.
Yeah.
For sure. Thank you, Lisa, for sliding in. I appreciate your presence. It's always a blessing when you slide through.
Oh,
For real.
thank you so much, brother.
For
Thanks
real.
for having me.
Always a pleasure. Serge,
Right.
what you got to say before we get up out of here? Final thoughts, bro. Holla at your boy.
I'm kind of the same way as Lisa. I'm kind of all over Clarissa taking this over smart, and I want the best for her. I want her to actually have a very successful career and kind of build it into maybe one day down the road having this fight where she signs in the UFC and does make millions and you know what I mean, fights for a belt. I'd love that. But I want to answer a question in the chat too from Gentleman's Game. He's talking about Khamzat Chimaev and is he ready for the top dogs?
Go ahead.
I think that honestly, I think he probably is. I think that we haven't seen a lot since the knockout in 30 seconds to Gerald Meerschaert. But as far as in other fights, man, we've seen that he brings a different type of strength and speed to that division. And he's got the wrestling, and now we've seen him with the power behind his hands. As far as that fight that they're making with Leon Edwards, like I was saying earlier, it's been pushed back about 3 months or 4 months from now. So hopefully no one gets COVID, no one gets sick. Both guys can finally make it. I think this fight's already tried to happen once or twice now. So let's hopefully we see that. And I appreciate you for having me on here, Boone.
All good, bro. You always welcome to come through, bro.
Thank you, man.
You already know.
Yeah,
if
man.
y'all haven't subscribed, go subscribe to the Surgeon.
Yes,
Tell him,
sir.
bro. Tell him all.
MMA Bet Surgeon. I'm typing it in the chat right now.
Yeah, man. Go subscribe. Follow him on Instagram,
Yes, sir.
Twitter, everything.
Yes, sir.
That's
Come
my
at me, bro.
guy.
Come at me, please.
This is my guy right here. This is the MMA guru Surgeon right here, man. Go subscribe right here.
I would really appreciate it, people. Really, man. And I'm always going live. I'm always open to talking and debating and stuff like that. I got a couple videos coming out, and then we're about to be back into this week of 3 fights in a row. So get ready for that, people. It's gonna be great.
You heard the man. Go rock with the Surge, man. That's my MMA guru right there. When I got some questions about what's going on, I'm finna go hit him up. And I'm gonna tell Myron to shoot you my email so we can you can get my number so we can talk outside of this YouTube shit, because you know I talk to my peoples off this YouTube shit.
Absolutely, bro. Absolutely,
so you're
bro.
more than welcome, bro.
Yep.
Thank you for sliding on, Surge.
Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate
Everybody
it.
for coming through, man. NBBC, bro. We out.
We out.